Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. One face, one name, but only at the right price. That's the message that Deontay Wilder, the WBC champion, is sending to his rival, unified champion Anthony Joshua, and his promoters, Matchroom Boxing, specifically Eddie Hearn. They don't want to take an Anthony Joshua fight unless the deal is right for them. So we'll get to the quotes in the TalkSport story and then on to some thoughts, because this is, it's pretty disheartening news overall, because this is going to be a fight we're probably never going to see. The opportunity for Undisputed, it seems to be close, but it's felt close for a while and we haven't had it. And it's not just one side to blame. There's multiple aspects to this. It's never just as easy to say one side or the other. But the reality is we're not getting this fight, and it's hard being a boxing fan sometimes, specifically a heavyweight boxing fan. The money, the politics, it's never easy. You never get what you want when you want it. You think it's close, but then it gets oh so far away. So the TalkSport story, no rush. Deontay Wilder warns Anthony Joshua he has many other options, doesn't need to fight him for 2 years. So we'll go down to the quotes here. Deontay Wilder told TalkSport's Will Gavin and Ollie Hunter, "If he's ready, I'm ready. It's gotta be fair." They thought they was gonna be the only people and everybody has to abide by their rules and rotate around them. But we had to show them. I had to grab my career and I had to go do my own thing. That's what I'm doing. We've got enough fighters lined up to go for the next 2 years. We've got a lot of things going. And judging by that, it doesn't seem to be mandatory factoring into the equation there. But 2 years, effectively 2019, that's going to be taken up with Tyson Fury. They will fight in April or May, and then there will be a third fight. It will be a trilogy between those two. The first fight, the draw, provided the option for the trilogy, because if Deontay Wilder gets beaten next, for example, he's definitely going to take the rematch with Fury. If Fury gets beaten, if it's on points or a controversial loss, anything other than a devastating knockout, he's probably going to take the rematch as well, and you'll see a third fight. And both these guys have said they want to fight Joshua, but just not at the money that they're being offered right now. So the fight between themselves, especially if it goes to a third fight and they do commercially well, on pay-per-view that is, then that obviously builds their commercial value and they can demand a bit more. But do I like hearing Deontay Wilder saying he's going to make Anthony Joshua wait for 2 years? Not one bit. But, I guess as a heavyweight boxing fan, it's too much to expect that we would have got this fight sooner. Once in a generation for Undisputed, and we're just not quite there yet. And at the end of the day, what it comes back to is a fair deal. And this is the crux of the matter. It's, money, politics, power, control. Everyone wants a bit more of a slice of the pie in this and control of the promotion for an undisputed fight. But it could be the fight that never happens. The way it's going, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder will never fight. This will be this generation's Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. I actually don't hold much hope that they're ever going to fight now, because they're just too far apart. 60-40 is the latest offer from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. And it took us 9 months to get to that 40% split. Previously, it's been lower. It started off in the most recent negotiations at 35%. I'm not even sure we can call them negotiations, because it was a one-sided, emails, calls from Eddie Hearn to Deontay Wilder and his team, who weren't responding. They weren't interested in negotiating this go-around because they had the other option of Tyson Fury. They didn't like what they were hearing from the offer, so they didn't entertain it one bit. They didn't enter into negotiations to any extent. So we've seen Anthony Joshua improving his offers, trying to make the fight, trying to get that undisputed fight, and ultimately it hasn't happened. But that's because Wilder and Fury have had each other to bounce off. They can fight each other this year twice, and that's likely. And they're going to be growing their commercial value. One of them will emerge from that trilogy, because I believe it will be a trilogy, and they will be able to say, look, this is what I've been doing. Give me 50-50. And that's what it's been boiling down to. They want 50-50, both of them. This is what they've been saying, the representatives, promoters, all that sort of stuff. Even though they say it's not really about money, it's always about money. And that's on all sides here. because everyone wants their cut of the pie. Right now, a 60-40 offer to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder is a fair offer. It is a fair offer. There's lots of people who like to say that I'm being unfair to Anthony Joshua by saying, if they really want to fight, they'd do 50-50 because Anthony Joshua should be protecting his commercial value. But if we're here in 2 years or 3 years, the fight never happens, are we going to say to each other, well, we're glad that Anthony Joshua protected his commercial value? It's clear these guys are trying to freeze him out, deny him this piece of legacy that he clearly wants, that he's been searching for, that he's been desiring for the last year or two. And Deontay Wilder has the strap, the belt that he needs to add to his collection to become undisputed. I just don't think this fight's ever going to happen. 2 years is a long time. If it does get dragged out, even 18 months, there's no guarantees Deontay Wilder's the champion. There's no guarantee that Anthony Joshua doesn't lose in the interim. Boxing is a funny old sport. We've already seen Deontay Wilder be champion for effectively 4 years now. And he's fighting in the fights now that he should be in against the likes of Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury. They're riskier fights. We almost saw him lose to both Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. There's no guarantee that he holds his belt and ever gets that fight with Anthony Joshua. And is what Deontay Wilder doing fair? Well, probably not in the eyes of Anthony Joshua fans, but boxing's not about fairness. It's about money. It's a business disguised as a sport. And effectively, they're saying, we're going to freeze you out for a couple of years if you don't give us what we want. And we all know what that is, 50-50. And on that basis, right now, you just can't see the fight getting made. You just can't. And ultimately, if the fight doesn't happen, the fans, we are the poorer for it. Is Deontay Wilder holding that belt hostage? Well, some fans will say yes, but he will feel he's just getting his cut of the pie. I don't believe he deserves 50% at this point in time, but if he beats Tyson Fury twice in a row now, because they probably will fight 3 times in total, then you might be able to argue that he will deserve 50%. Often it's about timing. We've seen in the past year the offers go up. It started out as a flat fee, $12 million. Then it went up to 15. And then there's been other offers that have gone up. One has been 35% plus a rematch. So it would be a 2-fight deal and a minimum guarantee. And now that offer has increased to 40%. Anthony Joshua has clearly been trying to make the fight, but ultimately it hasn't been enough to get Wilder over the line, or Tyson Fury for that matter. Not that that would be for an undisputed fight. That would just be a massive fight. But Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this triangle, I can see that, we're going to end up not having these 3 fight each other, and we're going to end up saying this should have been a situation where they should have fought each other in their primes, but it feels like they will be fighting other guys in the interim. And if Deontay Wilder does somehow manage to keep his belt, beat Tyson Fury a couple of times, or at least once, then he does have other options. You can probably see Adam Kovnatsky will be the next guy that he will face down the line, potentially a Luis Ortiz rematch as well. So if you have a couple of Fury fights, a Kovnatsky fight, and a Luis Ortiz fight, given Deontay Wilder really only fights twice a year and has done for a couple of years, that's 2 years right there. And Anthony Joshua, once he gets through this voluntary next, he's going to have his mandatories piling up. So that could be the next 18 months to 2 years in itself. But even if, say, we eventually come to some sort of deal, Deontay Wilder still somehow got his belt, Anthony Joshua still somehow got his belts, are we going to go, well, Deontay Wilder's now 35, 36 years old, he's got a lot of miles on the clock. Will he still be considered to be in his prime? Because this fight really should have happened either last year or this year. I don't know, it's hard being a heavyweight boxing fan, and Deontay Wilder, I'm not very, enthused by hearing these comments. Clearly he wants his cut of the pie, but, does he really want the glory and the legacy? If he really did want the one face, one name, shouldn't he have taken it by now? I don't know, it's hard. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out. If you want even more boxing content, come and join me on Patreon. Every week on a Sunday, I drop a new video on something topical or thought-provoking from the heavyweight division, ranging from rankings, the business of boxing, the false economy of deluded fanboys, the twists and turns in the division, to assessments of fighters and their statements. I hope to see you there, and for more information go to patreon.com/boxing squared. The address is on screen now.